Hey, I'm Jackie,
And I'm Davey.
and this is the Weekend Hangover.
Without fail.
I can't help it. No, you know what messed me up? Is your face.
That's not the first time I've heard that. I've heard that more than Jesus. You know what
No,
messed me up?
because
I
I
couldn't
feel like
do it because your face. It just your face.
you had the face of like, come on, girl, you can do it.
It's nice to know encouragement throws you off.
It's just making me laugh because I was just like, oh God. After the conversations that we just had like 5 seconds ago, you're probably like, so stupid.
No, I mean if you want to go into the conversations we just had, we were talking about Grease
Mhm.
2. And how you prefer Grease 2 over Grease 1.
It is the most underrated movie of like all time.
I to be honest with you, I think Grease 2 was a little better with Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Yeah.
Instead of, all about Sandy and everything like that. It was a little bit, and it wasn't that Michelle Pfeiffer and what was it? One of Travolta's friends in the first one. Who was the guy?
Oh, the Who?
The Who? No, it wasn't the Who.
Oh,
Who's
the
the
what?
lead? Who is the I think those mushrooms have got to your head.
Ooh. It's this dry secco, man. It's thrown me off. It smells like feet but doesn't taste bad. It's so weird. Every time I take a sip of it, I'm like, this should taste horrible, but it doesn't.
So if anybody doesn't know, Mama J is trying to calm down on her drinking. Not that she has a problem. She's just, looking for alternatives and not to have a weekend hangover. So she's gone to the non-alcoholic side, which, the non-alcoholic beer is delicious. You still feel like you're hanging out with people and still drinking a beer. But you have decided to be a wine connoisseur of the non-alcoholics, and
They're very disappointing.
and
I've been disappointed so far.
the one you're drinking now is
It's called a dry secco. It's only 50 calories, okay?
okay.
But it smells like feet. And you would think that it would taste like feet, but it doesn't. It actually tastes really good. I just can't get over the smell of it. But it's from Canada. I don't know. It's not that the other one that I had, it was called Surely. It wasn't that good.
Is that the one that was made from, is that the one that was made from mushrooms?
No, that one was just called I don't remember what it's called, but it says mushroom elixir on it. It's actually that's not bad. That I got my house clean really fast when I drank that though.
Really? It got like
yeah.
because I know I started taking Alpha Brain because they were saying it helps with the with your brain function and all that stuff. And apparently it's got mushrooms in it, and now everybody's going to this like mushroom coffee kind of thing now. So like apparently mushrooms.
I can hear myself, just so you know.
Can you really?
Nope, not anymore. It just happened for a second.
Huh.
All right, we're good.
People have got this like this new thing with like mushrooms, coffee and stuff like that. So, but I mean we've also told on every other show that I've been a part of. But did we announce it here last week about the network?
I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, if we haven't said it this week,
we announced my show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we announced your show. But yeah, so this week we kind of launched the network, Business Party Network. We have 7 shows coming. A bunch of them already, on the air. We have Business Party Podcast, which is our flagship one. We have Off Label, Weekend Hangover. We have one Pretty Antisocial that's coming. We
It's
have
starting on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. live
11
with
a.m.
me and
Eastern.
Haley.
11
Yes,
a.m.
11
Eastern.
a.m. Eastern with me and Haley.
Um,
We've
Haley
got
Kennington.
Choices Not Chances
Choices Not Chances with
Ryan,
Ryan, and the Oaks Hour with
Alex.
Oaks. And then what's the machine one?
Oh,
Two Against the
Two
Machine
Against the Machine
with
with
Haley
Alex and Haley.
and Alex. So we have a lot coming down the pipe.
Oh, and we have the gaming one.
Oh yeah, and the Stupids play with
The
Biz
Stupids
and Drunken.
play.
Yeah, with Biz and
Yeah.
Drunken. So what do you like 8
A
shows?
lot.
Yeah,
And then I think we said once a month or once every other week, we'll do a show on Saturday nights with the whole crew
the whole network.
or whoever can come and make it.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna be kind of like an in and out type of thing, type of deal. So there's
Party
so
with the
much.
Misfits or something like that. I don't know. We haven't come up with a name for it yet.
Yeah, but there's so much coming, that we want to provide to you. We're going 7 days a week right off the bat. We're gonna try to keep the channel going as much as possible. We will be mostly on Rumble, but we will be on YouTube also. A lot of the stuff that we can say on Rumble, we can't say on YouTube. So if you are not subscribed or you do not have the Rumble app, please go to rumble.com or look for the Rumble app in your app store. Download it. It's free. I know it's another app, but we'll get to be able to do things there that we won't be able to do on YouTube. So,
Right.
it's a lot freer to say whatever we want to say on that platform. We've had even some of our episodes taken down because of misinformation, which I don't
like
understand.
every single one of them.
Which makes no sense because we're just giving out information, and if you want to believe it, you can believe it, or you can look it up. But most of the stuff that we tell you, sorry, that was gross. We either try to show you what it is, or give you the source of where it comes from. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been fun creating with everybody.
Mhm.
My phone has never gone off so many times. I literally put it under Amanda's arm yesterday or today. It might have been yesterday. And I went, look at this. And I put it under her arm, and all of a sudden it was like, bzz, 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 bzz,
Yeah.
bzz. And every time it went off, she started laughing her ass off. And I was just like, and so yesterday we went to a carnival, and she goes, you going to shut it off? You're just going to shut off the notifications and let them know you were family? Because we need some family time. I'm like, I know. So,
Oh,
but she said,
we've been busy.
listen, I got an agreement. I got a formal contract agreement that states if she can be a stay-at-home mom, we will have another one. So we
Ooh.
have 4 months to start getting
Ooh.
to start
All
getting.
right.
So please help out.
We need to bring another life into this world.
I know, but listen, to be honest with you, it's really weird because we were at the carnival last weekend, and she counted like 27 girls that were pregnant. Like,
You were saying that.
yeah, there's a lot of pregnant people, pregnant women. I said pregnant people. Look at me being all
Yeah.
PC. There's a lot of pregnant women out there right now, and it's more than I've seen in a long time. Like I think she said like 15 to 20 people at her job either are
Mhm.
pregnant or have a girlfriend that's pregnant. So we're convinced, conspiracy theory, that the government is putting something in the water so that way people can be pregnant. But we don't know. We have no idea. I'm trying to find our channel actually on Rumble so that way we can see if the comments are coming through.
I know. I actually just looked. Off label says, "Hey everyone, hi." And for those who are watching, if you're not subscribed already to our Rumble page, please just hit that button.
Just hit that.
Subscribe. Just
Yeah,
hit.
it doesn't cost anything. We are working on a website though, so that way we can just direct you to a website, and you could just click it on, and see everybody who's live and see what's going on. But we are trying not to step on each other's toes. We have a schedule that will be out of who's going at what time, so that way
Yes.
um, you can plan accordingly. You can just leave the channel on all day. We're going to try to provide entertainment. Like I said, it's we're also on the Business Party Network's on Twitter. Business Party Network is on Instagram. The Business Party Network has a Facebook page. So just
We're working. We're just working to get things together because
it's
sometimes we're just like, who did this? And we're like, shit. All right.
I got it. And
Let
it's
me
like
add it to the list.
but it's funny because it's like it's overwhelming because we're all used to like doing it ourselves, but now we have a team of people who can help out, and it's kind of sometimes hard. Like when we were trying to do the Google Docs thing, like I was trying to figure it out myself. I really was. I was going through YouTube channels and how to set up Google Docs and blah 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 blah. And in the end, I was just like, you know what? Just let Haley do it. Just she knows what she's doing. Stop, get over your stupid pride in trying to figure it out. You have somebody who knows what she's doing. Just let her do it. And I'm like, okay, no, here you go. So yeah, will be the YouTube page. We have a YouTube page, the Business Partner Network YouTube page, where we will be throwing episodes on there also, and the Rumble. So we will try to get it all into one spot, but so that way you have everything if you want to go there, but also, support everybody, support everybody in the network, watch all the shows, and it's going to be fun. Me and Rich on Off Label have a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe. June 4th, Adam will be on.
I'm so excited for that.
Adam, the lectern guy, and Glenn Corey will be on also, telling his story for the first time from January 6th. So from Rich talk to him and from what we hear, it's going to be his first time actually talking and telling everybody what he experienced. So
that's definitely one that everyone needs to listen into. That's gonna be great.
I can give you this tidbit. He was supposed to be with Ashley Babbitt, but he had to go to the restroom and probably might have saved his life. So he was not there when Ashley met her demise. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild one, and that's gonna be June 4th at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I believe it's Tuesday, so don't miss it. We also will have Adam on our show again. So yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But Mama J, other than everything that we've been through in the last week, how was your week?
I've just been doing all that. I was telling Davey earlier, so I went out for a walk this morning, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna take a nice relaxing walk before I have to go back and listen to more intros that we're sampling to put it and work on intros and do everything that's going on. Make sure I have all the information I need to know for this show as well as Tuesday's show. And I'm like, I'm just gonna take a nice relaxing walk. And then I heard my phone ding, and I'm like, okay. Then I hear ding 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 ding. So I'm like, shit. All right. So I ended up spending my hour walk on my phone, and listening to articles, going back and forth. But it was actually really nice.
You just walking around the neighborhood.
By myself.
You just all you hear is
dude. I have no so. Well, a few days prior, I was on the phone with Haley while I was on my walk. It was the quickest 3.5 mile walk I've ever had because I was on the phone with her the whole time, and I told her that too because we were just talking. I was like, I wonder what all the people I was walking by was thinking because I wasn't quiet. I was talking really loud.
You were one of those movie talkers. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, no, yeah. And then we'll do this, and then we'll talk about this.
I mean, it would have been better if I had her on speakerphone, but I didn't. So people are like, "Who's this crazy lady just talking to herself?" Yeah. How about you? I know that I saw what was going on today.
Listen, it was a lot of fun, and me and Rich are, we did a little kind of a skit, and it took about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I believe. And Rich is doing a great job with cutting up stuff and making it look good. And but like I said to him, I can't wait for the blooper reel to come out, because it was just like, at one part Rich goes, "Shit, I forgot to hit record."
That's so funny.
But it was fun. Yeah, Tuesday we start our twice a week show, starting at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So make sure you come and join us for that. But I mean, where is it? Where do we go? There we go. So let's just go for the elephant in the room. Let's talk about what everybody is talking about for the past week.
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Butker. The NFL just condemned this speech by Super Bowl champion Harrison Butker. They really don't want people to hear it. It would be a shame if you make it viral. This is, I believe, the short clip of what he said.
We also had the long clip, but it's like 18 minutes long, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Put it out there.
I'm not gonna play that, but I did want to play something after it. So let me. I'll hit this.
It's only in the past few years that I have grown in courage to speak more boldly and directly, because as I mentioned earlier, I have leaned into my vocation as a husband and father, and as a man. To the gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos set in. This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see all around the nation. Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the US, and a correlation could be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things. Never settle for what is easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing, society is shifting, and people, young and old, are embracing tradition. Not only has it been my vocation that has helped me and those closest to me, but not surprising to many of you, should be my outspoken embrace of the traditional Latin Mass. I've been very vocal in my love and devotion to the TLM and its necessity for our lives. But what I think gets misunderstood is that people who attend the TLM do so out of pride or preference. I can speak to my own experience, but for most people I have come across within these communities, this simply is not true. I do not attend the TLM because I think I am better than others, or for the smells and bells, or even for the love of Latin. I attend the TLM because I believe, just as the God of the Old Testament was pretty particular in how he wanted to be worshiped, the same holds true for us today. It is through the TLM that I encountered order and began to pursue it in my own life.
So that was part of what people were up in arms about. Basically, also he was stating that women go off, and even though it's great that they pursue their careers and want to be in the workforce and stuff, like I'm so confused.
What I wrote in the private chat?
Yeah.
I was saying, I was saying what he was talking about would be a good transition to show the ladies having their little bitch fit.
Yeah. So he was just talking about being traditional and having a traditional wife, and it's great that women want to go into the workforce and be be in the workforce, but for him and his faith, his wife, his wife is more traditional, and he's talking about his Christian faith. you know, and people
Mhm.
are up in arms about it. And I just, and I said I was talking to Amanda, I'm like, the things he said about being, about women and stuff like that in other faiths, and I'm going to say the Muslim faith, women are subservient to the men. And
Yeah,
so,
it's not even a question. Like
yeah,
they could get stoned for going out without a man
yeah,
from their family.
but it's okay for people to get mad at him
Some
because he's Christian and because, you know, it's okay to say things against the Christian faith. It's okay because you won't get stoned um for speaking out of turn with the Christian faith. You won't get, you know, you
Mhm.
won't, you know, the backlash isn't so much. So the same people who are fighting for another faith, um fighting that it's okay to be one faith, are making fun of Christians. And I don't believe it's right. I mean, if you want to believe in what you want to believe in, that's fine. But people are angry about it, and it makes no sense. He went to a Christian college to make a commencement speech at a Christian college. It's not like he did it at like
Yeah,
Brown or Yale or any of those colleges. It was a Christian
right.
college. And then at the end, they stood up and applauded him because that's what they
Yeah.
believed in also. So I just don't, I mean,
So my 8-year-old today looked at my husband and he said, and looked at me and he's like, moms work a lot harder than dads. And we're like, what? He's like, listen, because you get up in the morning, and you have to have your coffee. You have to have your coffee first. He made that very clear that I have to have it. He's like, you get up, you have your coffee, and then you got to go take care of Lucas. You got to go take care of him. And then, you take care of him all day. And then dad gets home from work. And then you had to take care of all of us. You got to take care of me. You got to take care of dad. You got to take care of Lucas. You can make us all dinner. So dad comes home and he doesn't have to work anymore because you take care of everything. And then my husband was just like, sounds like that guy at the commencement speech.
but
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, listen, stay-at-home moms have a 24/7 job. Not gonna lie, just 24/7. So when dads go, when if you're a stay-at-home mom and your husband comes home, he's leaving his job. You're you're in your job all day, every day, and
Mhm.
it kind of sucks because it's between a rock and a hard place, because yeah, the husband or whoever decides, because nowadays they're stay-at-home dads, you know, like
Mhm.
if man made fucking $300 million a year, I'd be a stay-at-home dad, no problem, you know.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
told he's like, I married you because you said you wanted me to be a stay-at-home dad. That's what he said. And I was like, what do you think I'm trying to do right now, hon? So you can just stay at home. I'm building us an empire. Okay?
I said the same thing. We're all using the same fucking lines. I'm like, she's like, yeah, if I'm a stay-at-home mom, you know, then we can have another kid. And I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm working. I'm working on trying to get you to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm trying to make it so that way you don't have to go to work anymore. I think she'd be bored after the first little while, but still, I mean, but yeah, it's a rock and a hard place because yeah, you go out, you do a job, and then you come home and you're tired. But your wife is the same thing. Like your wife has been with these kids all day, and the only time she gets to like take a lunch or a break is when the kids go to sleep or the kids are taking a nap. You know, so it's
Take
not.
a nap. Little bastards sometimes are like, fuck you. You want to shower by yourself today? That ain't happening.
Listen, I can't. This baby is already being ruckus. I'll tell you that right now. So before I came in here, I was holding Amanda and I was like holding the baby, you know, like with
Mhm.
her stomach. So I was holding it, and all day the baby's head was down by the side. She was like this, you know, like
Aw.
laying sideways. And so she finally uprighted, and Amanda started making dinner and stuff like that. So I came behind her, just gave her a little hug, and was holding the baby. And I was like, all right, I gotta go do some work. And I came over here, and all of a sudden she went, oh, and I was like, you all right? And she's like, she moved back.
Oh.
I was like, she's like, this, ooh. I was like, oh, and I went over there, and I went behind her again, and I was holding her stuff. I was like, hey, leave your mother alone. Stop it. Stop it. Leave your mother alone. Don't you be nice to your mother. You stop it. You be good to your mother. It was like kind of like remember the Doritos commercial where they had the baby, the Doritos, and the sonogram is up there, and the guy's holding the Dorito, and the baby is going back, and then he just takes it and chucks the Dorito, and the fucking baby just jumps out. Like all of a sudden I just moved away, and the baby was just like, where'd he go? But yeah, so I mean, I understand it. I get it from both angles. But the way people are just getting angry at the things he was saying is that's his belief. If that's what he believes, and that was a commencement speech. By the way, for everybody who's angry about it, where is it? Let's share this. This is what happens. Harrison Butker currently has the highest selling jersey in the NFL. Mind you, Harrison Butker is on a team with Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Right.
And Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And his jersey is outselling. So, I mean, the mainstream media could tell you whatever they want. And people on the internet can tell you whatever they want. And they can be mad about whatever they want. But there's a lot of people who agree with him. And
and here's the thing. It's like, it's not like he's saying like, no, that bitch needs to be in the kitchen making me a sandwich. No, that's not what he's saying. It's like, that's what him and his wife talked about. Why is it like, if that's something that you had discussed with your partner, then I don't understand what the problem is.
I saw a video today that like angered me. Like I was mad because everybody has a dynamic in their household, right? Just like everybody has a kid. And when you see everybody's kid out, and then you see a parent like scolding their kid and like, don't you, next time you do it, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Like I say, every time I see that, I go, yes,
yeah.
You get that little motherfucker.
Here, you want my belt? No.
But it's a parent that's disciplining their kid, and like you don't know what that kid is like. You have no right to tell a parent how to parent their child, even if parents are having kids like run around and whatnot. As long as that little kid isn't getting in my way or being a menace to me, I don't care. As soon as that kid starts coming over to kick me, I'm probably going to kick it right through the freezer. So you better hold your little kid back.
Oh shit. Keep your dogs on a leash.
Listen, listen, if you're not going to discipline your kid, there's no reason. You have to kind of, I understand that kids are rowdy and they can be, but you kind of have to keep control of your own child. And I understand that there's children with special needs and everything like that. That's fine. That I have no problem. If you have a special needs kid and the kid is, he's rowdy or whatnot, I have no problem with that. But if you have just a little snot-nosed kid that's going around giving everybody the finger, and being a menace throughout the whole place, and you just come here, Timothy, come here. Would you stop? Please don't do that, Timothy. Please stop throwing the chips on the floor. Please. Ma'am, you need to wrangle your child. You really do. You really do.
Wait a minute. Did you say strangle? No, I'm just kidding.
You might.
No, I mean, Amanda said that she's just ramming her head to my left hip and wiggling. Oh,
yeah, that was another thing. She's doing this on her side, so I can. I'm like, you behave. Stop it. You leave your mother alone. And she's just going, nope, nope, nope. You can feel her little head just like. But I want to play this clip real quick of Bill Maher defending him, which I go back and forth with Bill Maher because sometimes he's very intelligent with things he says, and sometimes he's just a fucking absolute dingbat. and I can't fucking stand him. But on this point, I think he makes a good point.
Now, this week there's a guy in the news named Harrison Butker. He's the kicker on the Kansas City Chiefs, also known as the Taylor Swift Chiefs. He got invited to do the commencement address at a conservative Catholic college. But look, I can't express how much this guy is not like me. He's religious. He loves marriage. He loves kids. I couldn't be more not like this guy. He's in big trouble because he said at this event, and this is a Catholic college, conservative Catholics, and he's now history's greatest monster. Again, I don't agree with much with this guy, but I don't get the thing. He said, some of you, talking to the women here, some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world. Okay, that seems fairly modern. But I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I don't see what the big crime is. I really don't. And I think this is part of the problem people have with the left, is that lots of people in this country are like this. Like he's saying, some of you may go on to lead successful careers, but a lot of you are excited about this other way that everybody used to be. And now can't that just be a choice too? And I feel like they feel very put upon. Like there's only one way to be a good person, and that's to get an advanced degree from one of those asshole factories like Harvard. I find it very ironic that he's saying, you know what, in my world, we like the women to stay at home and just have babies. And the college kids and the young people find this absolutely abhorrent. But they're demonstrating for Hamas,
right,
who make that a law. It's not just an opinion in Hamas that you stay home and have the babies. We will enforce you for doing that. Okay, I just wanted to make that point.
Nellie is queers for Palestine, right?
Yes,
Queers
I am.
for Palestine.
We both are. We wanted to come and do an intervention.
So Trump.
I want to see what happened with that. If they're saying that.
But he makes a great point. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. He said, if you want to go out and have your careers, go out and have your careers. But a lot of them, being a Christian college or Catholic college, a lot of them are going to play the role of a mother and have children and be stay-at-home moms if they want. And people are upset.
I never planned on being a stay-at-home mom. I did not plan on it whatsoever. And then after I had my first kid, I physically could not leave him. I could physically and mentally couldn't leave him. I just couldn't do it. And, and then we moved, and then there was some other circumstance, but still I couldn't. I also had a little bit I had a touch of that postpartum depression at the time too, so that didn't help matters.
Can't wait for that, by the way.
But yeah, I wasn't a plan. It just happened. Well, and I enjoy it actually a lot. Well, I'm in my crafting area, my crafting era. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah, we did. And here's the thing, and I think a lot of women are scared to be stay-at-home moms because they're unsure.
There's a lot of judgment.
Well, not only that, but they're very unsure of who they've had a child with, and a lot of women kind of stay in these relationships because they don't feel like no one else is going to love them. They're afraid to get out of these relationships for fear that the guy's going to do something extreme, which there are guys who are crazy and will do something extreme. So they don't want to just be dependent on the guy. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But in the same token, you kind of, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, you kind of have to know who you're having a kid with. You kind of have to. And listen, I'm a part of that. I wasn't the greatest person when Madison, as mom and me were together. I was 20 years old. I was a dumb kid. I did some stupid things, nothing abusive or anything like that, but I was just a jerk. I was an asshole. I literally made her chase me every time. I'd get mad, storm off, and just be like, "Oh, you don't fucking love me. This is bullshit. I'm gonna go and go have a fuck. I'm gonna go walk home." You live 10 miles away. I don't care. I'm gonna walk home, and you're gonna make me like. I was a dramatic asshole. I completely know I was. Okay, but would I change anything? No. You know, I love my daughter with all my heart. She is fucking. She's a great kid, little misguided, but she's a great kid, and I would never change that for anything. So I kind of understand where, you know, you sometimes don't pick the greatest one and you don't want to be dependent on that one person. So you got to go have a career. You got to go out and do and get a job and work, you know?
But I feel though, I understand what you're saying, but I feel though, then that's a problem that you have with your relationship. If you feel that way, like, then you probably are in the wrong relationship because your partner is your partner. Like, you're doing it together, and you should be able to have that trust and that respect for each other. You're working with each other for a common goal and for your family. So if in your mind you're saying, "Oh, I have to do this because he's going to fuck me over one day," then it's probably not the best for you. I mean, I'm ju- I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying like, I don't know. Nope, that's it. No, that's I mean, that's because that's true. Because that's the truth.
Well,
I
you know
mean,
what? Take the fucking hard stance. In which
right.
it's your opinion. You know, people are gonna get mad about your opinion. That's your
How
opinion.
is your relationship supposed to be a full relationship if you have one toe out the door already?
Yeah.
You know, how are you supposed to explore it fully or be in it fully if you have that mindset?
Well, it's kind of like the conversation we had a couple weeks ago where the girl was hiding money on her husband while she was a stay-at-home mom because her parents said you should build a just in case fund, and she built up the just in case fund. Meanwhile, her husband was working every day, all day, 2 to 3 jobs so she could be a stay-at-home mom. He was killing himself to the point where he went to the hospital, and then
Yeah.
when he finally, and she finally told him, he flipped the fuck out because technically it's his money because he's working his ass off. Even though,
No, it's their money.
yeah,
No,
you're right.
I'm gonna push back on that
Right.
bullshit. No,
You're
it's
right.
their
It's their
money.
money. You're right. It's even though it is their money, she kept it for herself for a just in case fund.
Well, that's it. Because like with that case, it was like $40,000 or something
Yes.
like that. And the dude was working like 2 or 3 jobs to the point where he had like put himself in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's when you're just like, okay, so you're gonna watch that makes you the shitty person because you're not part of the relationship. You're not a good partner. If you're like, oh well, I'm gonna scroll this away as I'm watching him kill himself. No.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm not saying I don't have like money tucked away somewhere, but it's not like thousands of dollars. It's the money that I'm like, oh, we're going out for a vacation this summer, and I pull out a wad of cash, and he's like, where the fuck did that come from? Well,
Well,
you
see,
know,
and that I can respect because I have a tendency to spend sometimes and not think about, like, right before vacation, I'm like, all right, we have a month before vacation. Stop everything. We're not going anywhere. Cancel all subscriptions. We're not doing anything because we got vacation in a month. But if a man is just like, well, listen, we don't have to do that. Every paycheck I take a certain amount and I put it to the side, and we have like a couple thousand for vacation. I'd be like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're the fucking best, and that's our money to save for our vacation, so I don't mind. But when you're squandering $40,000 of your guys' money because of just in case, that's
and
really,
he thinks that you're like destitute.
yeah.
Like that's fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
mean, I don't know. I don't get it. But speaking of fucked up women,
All right, wait, all right. Before we get there, because these women, so you've heard of like the manosphere, right? You
Yeah.
know, like the Andrew Tate's like type stuff, like be a man, or like the we should repeal the 19th Amendment, women shouldn't vote crowd. This video kind of they'll put that in their evidence box for the future.
Listen, you know when I stopped listening to Andrew Tate, like I listen to him because I like the stupid shit he says. I don't follow it, but I like to listen to it because it's just I like to listen to stupid shit. When he said, "You're poor if you go buy chicken," the man actually said, "You are poor if you go and buy chicken. You should have time to go and make your chicken and eat the chicken. If you just go buy pre-made rotisserie chicken, you're poor and have and I think he said gay. I think he said if you buy chicken, you're gay." I was just like, oh,
But
dude.
didn't he also say if there was? Never mind. I'm not going to go there
Yeah,
right now.
if it was a trans and she had
And it
balls,
looked like Megan Fox.
yeah, if I had just move the balls to the side and it's not gay. Listen, sir, we don't kink shame
But
in this
buying
house.
a rotisserie chicken at the local Piggly Wiggly, you're not only poor, but you're gay. Like, seriously.
Oh, son of a bitch. I mean, you make a beautiful point.
Priorities are all fucked up with that dude.
Listen, the man's going to jail and whatnot. I don't. But Rep Green makes fun of Rep Crockett's fake eyelashes and all hell breaks loose. You have to watch the entire exchange. SNL couldn't create a skit like this.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right.
I like how. So this kind of started a little bit before, because it started kind of with Bobert, and they were kind of
Oh
going back
God, she's so annoying.
Yeah.
I can't.
because Crockett said they said something about saying something, and then Crockett's like, well, so then are you saying that I can't say that someone looks like a man and works out? That's a derogatory statement. And she was kind of talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That was after.
Oh, that was
the
after?
eyelash. Yeah,
Oh.
it was after. No, what was going before? No, the whole thing is a bunch of just bullshit because you hear Crockett saying, like, what does this have to do with the judge? What does this have to do with Merrick Garland? When I swear to God, these people bring up Trump and his shit every 5 minutes.
Well, you just heard it. You just heard it with
he's like,
with,
oh, is she a porn star?
yeah,
That
Mr.
kid
Fake
Raskin.
Cancer. Mr. Fake Cancer, that guy. Did that guy? But yeah, I mean, and you'll see when if you watch Raskin's face, like he gets angry at anything that the Republicans say, but as soon as like Crockett or AOC says it, he's got that, oh shit, no she didn't, oh shit, no she, like dude, like you're such a fucking bitch. You're a bitch.
Raskin, the way in which he presents his arguments all the time reminds me exactly of Adam Schiff. It's very I'm gonna say the word, but it sounds so stupid. Narrative-y. It's not even a word, but it's just like
cunty.
You're reading. It's like a narrator. Like he's narrating a movie that's playing in his head.
like Discovery Channel, and then Donald Trump decides that he wants to go into the porn star's lair. Look at Donald Trump in a porn star's lair right now. Yeah, no, they come off cunty. They really do. The guys on the Democrat
They're
side,
very condescending. They're so they're very
very
condescending.
condescending. That's the perfect word, is what I was looking
but
for.
But I was so embarrassed. I listened to this whole thing. It was embarrassing. It should have never happened in the first place. She should have never even made that comment. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene should have never made that comment. But the way that everything popped off, holy shit. I was like, I finished my popcorn already. I can't even eat it for this.
This is not this once again. Rich says it. This is your tax dollars at work, folks. These people are getting paid to sit here and talk this shit to each other while we sit here and can't afford groceries. They're making snide little dicky comments towards each other.
And all the men that they hate saying that women shouldn't vote are like eating this shit up, being like, see, this is what happens.
He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you
point
know
of
what
order.
you're here
President.
for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I
you still
think your
stuck in the
fake
courtroom.
eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
your
please
history and
regain
beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack
meeting will
the
suspend,
physical
meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Oh,
Oh, girl, baby, girl.
oh, really?
Don't even play, with me.
Baby girl?
We're gonna,
I don't think
we are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to
recognizes
apologize. No.
Mr.
She
Perry.
needs to
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm
still
not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well, then
seconds.
Okay,
you're not
reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
I think
minority.
it's pretty
No,
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words. Move to
I would
strike
like to
move to
strike
strike
those
the
as
lady's
well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's the
control.
correct apology. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Reserve 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Here it goes.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold
a
on.
part of the.
See that fucking shit-eating grin? She's allowed to say that. They don't care. They don't give a
Yeah.
shit. And so it's stupid. It's so stupid.
Trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to
See? Look at his face.
Yeah. Comer's like, what just happened?
But she could say that they have no problem with it. Look at they're laughing, they're having a good time. But she says fake eyelashes. Strike the words, strike them, strike Marjorie Taylor Greene, strike her in the face. Wait, what? What happened? Who did what?
I had
Strike
no
those
idea what
words.
you just said.
we're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You
yes.
just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you
You
don't
just
want to
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at calm down. Calm
No,
down.
no, because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get through
do.
proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
You don't wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games,
I can't
Crockett.
hear you with your
and you
yelling.
don't want me
Calm
to be-
down. Can
No,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take it.
control.
Because if
Look, Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your elected representatives. By the way, did you see the video of them begging for more money? Yeah, there's a video going around, and I forgot to save it. They're actually congressmen going around asking for both sides, asking for more money, saying they need a raise because they can't afford it. A lot of times they just have to share a house with each other, so they can't afford their Washington house and their house back where they live. because $179,000 is not enough. Hey, assholes, you're fucking right. It's not. You're right. And you guys did it. You guys did this to us. So I don't.
I can't. It's so gross. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. Yeah. I think there was what? Oh, what?
Man, this is cat fight. Look at all the men go nuts, not knowing how to control the situation.
I know. Oh my. Well, you know what? I think when that video first came out, who did I text? Who sent it? It was like in a chat. Oh, it was like with you and Biz, and I was like, he's got no idea what to do with himself. He's just like,
yeah, they don't.
He's like frozen.
Because
poor guy's like, listen, I got 2 hearing aids. I can't hear shit. Like, what is popping off?
But listen, Biz was right. Let them have congressional fight club. Let them have congressional fight club. Let them all fight it out. And simps, yeah, you're right. They don't know what to do. There's supposed to be a decorum along with being in this situation. And they don't know what to do with these younger, newer kind of young. And I say younger because a lot of these motherfuckers are like in their 80s and 90s. But these younger congressmen and women who are just like, bitch, I said what I said. You bitch, you did, motherfucker. Like, they have no idea. None of them have the balls to tell the chicks to shut up. No, they don't. They don't, because they don't want to come off looking like the bad guy.
Oh, are you, and then both of them would be like, "What are you doing, man? Mansplaining? Get the fuck out of here!"
Listen.
Oh my god.
Listen, I love Amanda.
It was like someone's head was gonna get stomped in. Like, this is crazy.
I love Amanda, and I hate her at the same time because she unlocked something in me that was just like, it's just as no, I'm not gonna go into it, but I'm just saying he knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't get it. And she's right. None of the men have just the balls to just tell him to shut up. Just shut up. Because if it was a guy and I'm playing the what if game, people would just go, shut up. But not
honestly, as Comer being the head of that committee, he should have been like, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? Yeah. You are a disgrace. Both of them. That whole thing. Everyone who was involved makes it look like a disgrace.
Yeah. They both should have been thrown out. They should have been ejected like a fucking baseball game. You out. You out. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out. I don't care. I don't care who's starting it. I don't give a shit. Just get out. But they have there's no recourse.
Jeepers.
There's no recourse for any of them. They will continue to do this nonsense bullshit. Once again, this is why we say we hate them all. Because once again, they'll do all this shit. And then
it's like, I did nothing.
And then later on, they'll come and they'll agree. Look what happened with Matt Gaetz and fucking AOC during the House Speaker vote. They were sitting there chumming it up, being all buddy with each other. It's all a fucking act. It's all a game. And to be honest with you, I believe they're all failed actors. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're all failed actors.
Well, I mean, obviously you could tell Adam Schiff wanted to write a screenplay because after like the Russian stuff, like he was very eloquent in his storytelling. It was a very great fiction novel that he was reading from.
Have you gone back and seen the whatchamacallit? The Jesus Christmas Carol? Have you gone back and seen some of the Trump stuff? What the fuck is it called? Not the indictments. Don't help me either. Okay, don't help me. That's fine.
I don't know what I was. Listen, we've got a lot of messages while we were on here. Okay, like I'm looking.
What they do to Trump for the Ukraine thing?
Impeachment?
Yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay. The
Trump
first
impeachment. Have you watched any of those impeachments again?
No, but I watched them the first time. I really don't know if my brain can handle it a second
They
time.
are just so wild. Like I wish I had the ability to know that I'm watching history as history is being made, but I just don't.
Right?
I just go, eh. But some of the stuff that they said that they just blatantly made up. And they're just like, we're Congress. We're allowed to do that. And Trump
Right.
is like, if you were you guys are lawyers. You know that if you said any of this shit in a courtroom, that you'd be disbarred, right? You'd be held in contempt of court. And they're just like, we're not in the law. We're not in a real court. This is a fucking kangaroo court, so we're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want to say. It's just like,
It was, yeah.
holy.
I haven't seen it, but yeah. Oh my gosh. We have to play the Busy Phillips one first.
Oh, okay.
Because that's totally in line with kind of the progression of stuff. So we're just basically using Harrison Butker. Butker's.
We're just using Harrison Butker's commencement speech just to show you crazy women today.
Right. I mean, well, it just so happened that all this shit happened in the same.
Is the moon aligned with Uranus or something? Because like it's just,
I don't know.
I mean, this Busy Phillips thing is old. This was during the Me
Okay.
Too movement and all this stuff. But like, it's still like, I mean, if you look at her lips, I think she was on something, and wasn't so good. But white liberal women are the worst species to be around. What miserable human beings.
What?
That's what it says. That's what the X said. What miserable human beings. Liberal white women. Oh, I didn't say it. That person on X said it.
Here I was, sitting in Los Angeles in my beautiful office of my own late night talk show. Soon I would be driving my hybrid car to my beautiful fucking home to kiss my two beautiful and healthy children and my husband who had taken the year off to parent so I could focus on my career. And I have all of this, all of it, because
she's trying to find the right word.
I
didn't know what she was going to say next.
Was allowed bodily autonomy at 15.
An abortion.
I will not be shamed into being quiet. We will not be shamed into being quiet. Never again. I will never stop talking about my abortion or my periods or my experiences in childbirth, my episiotomies, my yeast infections, or my ovulation that lines up with the moon.
That must be great dinner conversation. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, honey, the brisket's delicious. You want to hear about my episiotomy and my fucking period that aligns with the moon? Like, this is... listen, I to be honest with you, my whole take is...
I've never been so spirited about my bodily autonomy before.
To be honest with you, I don't care. What I care about is that you do it as a contraceptive. If you're having complications for it, if it's SA, if it's, incest, which all of the abortion laws that are going into effect or have gone into effect, they all say, if those are the two things, you have the right to get an abortion, which I agree with. By the way, 20 weeks. Some people allow. I think it's 16 weeks or something like that is the max in some places. Our baby's 22 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know you're pregnant by about that time, I mean, how much do you really know your body?
Do you know there used to actually be a show? I'm not shitting you.
Yep, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, cause it was what was it called? Oh my god!
Oh my God, I
I
think I'm
didn't
pregnant.
know.
I think
No,
it's
I didn't know I was pregnant. That's what it's called. I didn't know I was pregnant. That was a show. Scared the shit out of me.
well. Here's the thing, and everybody's gonna be like, well, when Madison was conceived, and Madison's mother, I knew. I said, hey, why don't you go get a pregnancy test? No. I mean, I think you should. No. I think you should. No, I don't want to. Okay. 5 months into it, I get a phone call. Hey, congratulations. You're going to be a dad. I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of knew. I told her. I said, hey, her periods were irregular. They weren't the way they usually were. I said, just go check it out. Just go. What's the harm in getting a pregnancy test and trying just to see? If you're not, you're not. They're not. I mean, back then they weren't like fucking $130 like some of them are now. But like, it wasn't expensive to just go get a test it out. She was dead set on not doing it. And
Pregnancy tests aren't that expensive.
I think we got a couple of them. They were pretty fucking expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I can hear myself again.
I think it's your
Sorry.
headphones. You need new headphones. You need
Nope,
you need
it's
wired.
it's fine now.
You need wired
No,
headphones.
I have it in my Amazon list for my husband for my birthday.
But it's like, what would be the downfall of seeing if you were or you weren't? Like it's in my head. Sometimes I think maybe if she thought she was early on, that she would automatically want to get an abortion because she was only 19, 20 years old. We weren't that old. So maybe she thought that she would definitely get one. I mean, when we found out, it was a conversation, and I'm like, you're 5 months pregnant. That's a person. That's a human being. Like we can't do that now, and it was a conversation, but I would kept on saying, and she was just like, no. So yeah, maybe if you're 16, if you want to get one, hey, if you want to, that's up to you. But to sit there and just be like, I'm going to cheer on this abortion and that, like, why? Like, what does it do?
I'm only going to say this about this issue because I can go all night, but as women, as girls, as everything, we're taught to compartmentalize what it means to be pregnant and what it means to actually be carrying a child, and using the term fetus rather than baby. Because, like, honestly, like, if you want to give me the layman's term, what a fetus is, you probably say baby. So don't come with me at that shit. Also, we are not told personal responsibility. If you're going to have sex, then you need to know what the outcome is. You need to take that responsibility. And to use something like abortion as some type of like contraceptive type thing, because some people do. Some people yell at them proud of their 52,000 abortions that they had. That's disgusting. Sorry, it just is. And now you have a lot of people out here who may have changed their mind on the thing, but they have all this guilt because of things that they had done in their past. Because when you're a young woman and you're growing up, they teach you how to compartmentalize the whole situation. You're told that it's supposed to be safe, legal, and rare, and now everyone's just like, shout out your abortions. No, this is not how it's supposed to be. And it gets me even more when it's women who have kids and you've been through the process. Okay, I went and found out within 4 weeks that when I was pregnant with my second kid, is when I found out. And I thought then and there, and I was just like, I don't know how we've been so brainwashed into thinking that this isn't a person. But you can go find like a single-celled organism on any other place, planet, whatever, and it's considered life. So that's all I'm saying about that, and that's it.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And a lot of, and I've done studies, and they've said that a lot of women who have had these abortions earlier in life regret them. You know, a
Well,
lot of
and one
Go.
last thing.
Come on, no,
Well,
listen.
no,
We
and
need to have
that's
this
it. No.
conversation. We should have this conversation because it's a lot of people don't get to hear, and this is why I like doing this. They don't
Mhm.
get to hear from a woman's perspective on a different take. It seems like, especially in the media, every woman's take is abortion, abortion, abortion. My right, my body, my choice. I'm allowed to get as many abortions as I want. And you
Right.
don't get to hear a lot of women say it's not.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. It shouldn't be used as contraception. So you should speak on the issue.
I feel very bad for women out there who had been taught that it's not like it's a fetus. It's just a clump of cells, like that type of thing, that type of mentality. That's how they get you to compartmentalize that what you're doing isn't wrong or isn't bad or that you're not killing something because you are like, that's it. You are, and so what happens is that a lot of people afterwards, and even men too, who've had girlfriends when they were younger and they end up getting pregnant and then had an abortion, that they have some trauma after that too. And no one talks about the trauma after having an abortion or how, sometimes like there will be women where there's like an anniversary of it happening, or they'll like be like, oh, my kid would have been this old today if I wouldn't have done this, that, and no. They don't talk about that. It's all about, you're empowering yourself. Yeah, empowered woman, because you wanted to be selfish in yourself to do a career instead of just having a kid and maybe giving it up or keeping it. Like, just don't kill it. Like, I don't know. I know that there's all these different types of situations, but here's the thing is it comes down to education. You need to teach kids about personal responsibility. You can't just use it, like you said, as a contraceptive or be like, oh, hey, this is an actual acceptable option for you and that you're not going to have any trauma with it. That's bullshit. And you can't tell what's going to happen to someone after that happens, because when a woman is pregnant, even at the early stages, what do you have? Hormones, right? All your hormones are all out of whack. And guess what? You could probably, I don't know, have some postpartum after that shit too. And no one talks about that either. So women have been educated wrong in it. It is, when people would say it's safe, legal, and rare, like it was looked as something that was horrible, that was awful, and that was like hard for every person involved. Like it was a hard decision to make. And now it's like, oh, well, this just happened, and on Tuesday I'm going to go and do it. And how it's portrayed now, not like a while ago, it wasn't portrayed like that. It was portrayed as horrific. And now it's almost like it's celebrated. And it's just like, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on it. And I don't want to go down there because it makes me really upset and it makes me sad and it makes me, I feel pain for all of us women. I feel pain for being hoodwinked into thinking that it's one way when it's really not, and being told that it's okay. I don't know.
You're gonna make me tear up because my mom told me she had one before me, and the reason why I'm here is because after she had it, I was conceived, and she said that she saw it as a sign that she was supposed to be a mother, and she was 20 years old, and Madison just passed the threshold, so she made it past the 20 years old. I was 20 when Madison was born. My mother was 20. I think my grandmother was like 17 when my mother was born. So, like, it's so I was almost aborted myself, so I almost wasn't here. And to think that I would have had an older brother or an older sister, an older sibling, and it's kind of like messed up to think about, because it also affects the kid. Like, how could you sit there and just you have a child, and then all of a sudden, like, this child could have had another brother or sister, and it's kind of like it's kind of messed up to think about, to think I could have had a brother or sister who was older,
Well, and I just hate that. No, and I'm so sorry that I cut you off because it's true, and the hardest part is how it just aids into like dehumanization of everything. Like, you see a lot of stuff that goes on when you're either talking about abortions or watching people fight each other on the streets, or they're on Timcast the other night they were talking about, remember that woman that got raped on the Philly train, and
Yeah.
people didn't do anything and
Nope.
just filmed her. And it's like a lot of this stuff that goes on, it aids into the dehumanization of people to make it easier to be like, oh, well, I don't like this person's view, so I'm just going to off them or something. And it's sad.
Well, yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, could it have also led to my mother being in a relationship like we were talking about before? Could it have also led my mother into a relationship with somebody who she had to stay with, who, now maybe she had 2 kids with this person, and now she has to stay with this person after, I don't know the whole story. My mom I don't think she's ever told me the whole story about my father. My mother left my father when I was 6 months old, and I don't know who my real biological father is. So I don't know what happened, what their dynamic was. Could it have led her into a worse situation? Possibly. Could the abortion that she had led her into a better situation? Possibly. But when people are going around and like rah-rahing it, that's one of the problems I have. If you have it, listen, like I said, do you? But when you're going around rah-rahing and say, I had 37 abortions, yeah, and people are literally, we saw a video of a girl who was talking about having an abortion and on her OnlyFans and desecrating it after she had it. Like, it's grotesque.
Yeah.
Of some of the things that these people say about these things, that it's just like, bro, like, I mean, if you had it, you had it. Keep it kind of like to yourself. I mean, it's not a good look. It's really not.
Yeah.
And like I said, some people do them because they need to do them, because they're not in a situation where they feel that it's right for them to have it, and they do it early enough so that way it's not growing into a human being or whatnot.
But it would.
But yeah, but it would. But also, in the same, like I said, in the same token, don't go around saying, sorry, I'm late. Hi, pretty antisocial. Don't go around just like fucking cheering it on, and like you said, it's personal responsibility, especially when you're young. There's no reason for you to be having sex at an early age. There really isn't. You should be just finding yourself out, finding out who you are and all this stuff. And then, sex is for adults, to be honest with you. Sex is for adults. So,
and even not some of them. No.
And even some of those adults get it fucking wrong,
Well,
But
all I'm saying is that if you're on the side of the satanic church who says, listen, you can't get rid of abortions because it's part of one of our religious rituals, like,
get rid of it.
I'm just saying, I don't want to be on that side.
No,
that's it.
No. So do you? We'll go to Helly's article next. So article.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's because this is like a real downer, and I don't want to take this. Sorry, y'all.
This article was posted by one of Business Party Network's own Haley Kennington, and it was an article written by her boss at The Wrong Speak, and it was published by the New York Post. It's no surprise that Facebook, Nike fell for DEI con artists who preyed on fear of being called a racist. This was an article written by Adam B. Coleman, the founder of Wrong Speak Publishing, who is a good writer. I haven't read a lot of his stuff, but I know he puts out a lot of good stuff. I was checking out some of the articles because on here you can check out all of right here. It says view the author's archive. We'll go in real quick. Adam B. Coleman is the author of Black Victim to Black Victor, and the founder of Wrong Speak Publishing. Follow him on Substack. I have just recently found Substack, and it's actually pretty cool. You get to see all these articles from people, and it gives you all this information. But
and the articles can be read to you, and you can
Yes!
listen to them on your walks.
that's how I listen to Haley's articles. But he's been published a bunch of times by the New York Post. These are just some of his articles. So if you have a chance to go check out Haley and Adam, they both are on Substack on the Wrong Speak Substack. But let's get into this. It's no surprise that the Facebook Nike fell for DEI con artist who preyed on fear of being called a racist. The law of attraction dictates that you attract what you are. So it is by no coincidence that the diversity industrial complex often attracts con artists. It's an industry predicated on siphoning money from gullible corporations who are desperate to project themselves as social change makers. This is how immoral people like ex-Facebook and Nike diversity program manager Barbara Smiles, I'm not going to foul her Smiles, were able to extract millions of dollars from resource abundant corporations. Smiles, who led the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion DEI program for Facebook from January 2017 to September 2021, pled guilty in December to wire fraud scheme that helped her steal more than $4.9 million from Facebook and a six-figure sum from Nike.
By the way, so she siphoned almost $1 million per year from Facebook.
What was that movie again where it was from Office Space? He's like, you just take a little bit at a time and just 0.001 cent, and then you make millions of dollars. That's basically what you did. You siphoned a little bit here, a little bit there. They didn't notice it for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Atlanta U.S. Attorney Ryan Buchanan lamented how Smiles was utilizing a scheme involving fraudulent vendors, fake invoices, and cash kickbacks. After being terminated from Facebook, she brazenly continued the fraud as a DEI leader at Nike, where she stole another six-figure sum from their diversity program, Buchanan stated. Smiles used her authority to approve invoices to pay for services and events that never occurred, funneling the money to several personal associates and pay Smiles in kickbacks. She would later submit fake expense reports claiming her associates completed work for Facebook, such as improving marketing help and merchandise fulfillment. Smiles' lavish lifestyle will be replaced with a stiff punishment of 5 years imprisonment, 3 years of supervised release, and in order to pay back the money she stole from both Facebook and Nike. Holy shit. How do you pay all that money back? I mean, you can't really work after getting this public trouncing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's a columnist at the New York Post and Epoch Times, which are the Epoch Times I love. The Epoch Times are great. They give you the actual facts. They're actually news. What were you saying?
I don't know. They might have to come to some type of settlement. Oh, hold on. Sorry. So she's going to be in prison for 5 years, 3 years of supervised release, and then in order to pay back the money that she stole. Damn.
Yeah, from both.
Well, they'll probably be garnishing her wages and stuff.
From what? McDonald's? What kind of job is she going to get in prison?
Well, I mean, they probably have programs after people get out of prison to get them work and stuff, because for a supervised release, I'm sure that there's things that she's got to do on a probationary period,
I have no post George Floyd's death, business entrepreneurs and enterprises fell in love with or were blackmailed into the idea of marriage between capitalism and social philosophy, DEI jobs.
Philanthropy.
Yeah, that too. Philanthropy. Whatever. That's a real word.
Yes.
Bull honky. DEI
It's
job position.
felonious.
I get a lot of flack about saying old timey words like jargon and shenanigans, and people are just like, "Did you just say jargon?"
Yeah.
Yes, I did. DI job positions increased 123% between May and September of 2020, according to Indeed. As long as enough to have financial success in a business environment, they now want to become adored by the public, or at least not be accused of white supremacy. It is just, oh my God. I don't get it. I really don't. Why can't you just be the product? You're fucking Nike. You're Facebook. Your job at Facebook is to just have pictures of people. We don't need to fucking.
Here's the thing. It's already a law that you can't discriminate against people within hiring. But then they made DEI to discriminate against people with hiring. So I don't get it. Like,
Ta-da!
it seems counterintuitive. For very progressive people, it's a very regressive stance. That's all I gotta say.
I don't get it. I really don't. Like there's a certain part of the population that's a certain part of the population. Like they keep saying white supremacy. White people are 61% of the United States, shrinking, but still 61% of the United States. Like obviously more people are going to have more white people are going to have jobs than any other person, any other
Non-white
ethnicity, race.
people.
Yeah. So I don't get it. They want, everybody, you have to have somebody who looks like me. And we were talking about this the other day because they were talking about cartoons. That's what we were talking about. Because Tinkerbell is now Disney's doing away with Tinkerbell because it's a stereotypical white hair,
Like
blonde hair.
like
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
Like entirely. They
Yeah.
have a whole fucking series on Tinkerbells though. What the hell?
They're
People
getting
are
rid of
like fairies.
They're getting rid of Tinkerbell because Tinkerbell is now problematic. Let me see if I can find it because we had it on off label the other day.
But what does that have to do with DEI? What does Tinkerbell have to do with DEI?
Because now diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now Tinkerbell's too white for Disney.
That's Disney's fucked up because you can go on the Disney Plus app and like they have like so much Tinkerbell stuff. Tinkerbell has all friends of all different colors.
Tinkerbell, unfortunately, has become a problematic image for our guests, specifically young girls, specifically in terms of portrayal of unrealistic body images, as well as dependency of approval and or attention from Peter Pan. As seen in the previous incarnations of the character, we feel these traits are no longer representative of our inclusive, focused values, and thus are currently in the process of redesigning an updated Tinkerbell for modern audiences.
Huh. As well as dependency of approval and or attention from Peter Pan.
Isn't Peter Pan fucking bisexual or fucking pansexual? It's in the fucking name. Peter Pansexual.
No. Oh my God.
Listen, Peter Pan can be played by a boy or a girl because Peter Pan is like in the middle. I mean, I know it's the.
Honestly, I grew up watching the live action Peter Pan where it was the woman who played Peter Pan. So when I saw Peter Pan as a boy, I was confused because I had watched that version for so many years that I actually realized that Peter Pan was supposed to be a boy. Okay. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? It was like a live action, like it was on TV. We had taped it, we had recorded it, and I watched it over and over because I thought it was great. Yeah.
Amanda says she's
and like
a
Peter
fairy.
and like Tinkerbell was a light, and the light would like go around the stage and stuff. Yeah. So, um, they're like, Tinkerbell is too skinny and a thirsty bitch for Peter Pan, so we need to get rid of her.
She's too fucking blonde. Like I don't.
Because she wanted no, the problem is that they didn't like that she, as Tinkerbell, a fairy, a fictional character, was wanting Peter Pan's attention because he had given her attention all of her fairy life, and she was upset because he found Wendy, darling. But why does I don't understand. Okay, I can understand body image stuff, but why was that dependency of attention from Peter Pan in there? I don't get it. Like, why? Like it seems unnecessary. Like,
this is why I love the Business Party Network family. We all have this same kind of mentality because Rich goes, who do they want? Lizzo? And that was the first fucking thing that came to my mind. It was like, are they trying to get Lizzo in there as the new Tinkerbell? Like, she's gonna need elephant ears as fucking fairy wings if they want to get Lizzo off the fucking ground. It's like I don't get it. Like, who? She's a fairy.
you know what they're doing? They're skinny shaming. So,
but that's the same thing with DEI, like diversity, equity, inclusion. It does not include everybody. That's what the whole point is. It's supposed to be inclusion, so everybody's supposed to be included. Yet they keep
except for you,
white people. They keep leaving out fucking white people. I forget his name. Is a comedian named something Fisher, and he's actually suing, I believe, Hollywood because he was on Dr. Phil, and his agent basically said that he can't be cast because he's a white man. And there's no roles for white men. And it's like, what part of the DEI of inclusion is not including white men? Like, it's not inclusion. It's whatever. I can't even think of the word for not inclusive right now.
I'm sorry, the rumble chat is popping off.
So
it's like, let's not forget, she's 2 inches tall. She's got body issues,
and she's a make-believe character.
Oh, she's vertically challenged.
Parents are explaining the dynamic of the whole story. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the parents who. It's like when people are like, they're making fun of deaf people. It's not like they're gonna fucking hear it. So who's telling the deaf people that they're making fun of them? Oh,
wait,
the other people.
Who's making fun of deaf people?
So when
Tinkerbell?
No, like if there's a comedian out there who's making deaf jokes, right? The joke is, who's gonna tell them they're fucking deaf? The same thing with Tinkerbell. Who's gonna tell people that Tinkerbell is problematic? Oh yeah, the parents. Instead of just letting their child just watch a show, watch Peter Pan, and just maybe making a different Tinkerbell. Like you said, they made Tinkerbell in other.
Yeah, Tinkerbell has like all of her friends and stuff. Like there's shows with all these little fairies and everything. It's not Ferngully. That's a whole other thing. But yeah.
Since she's so small, she can only hold one emotion at a time, right? The whole character is supposed to be based on an emotional control.
Unlike the parents have to explain that too, because I don't think a 5-year-old will actually get that in depth with the character development of Tinkerbell.
Well, I mean, look at that movie. I forget what it's called, but it has all the emotions and everybody's
Inside Out.
Yeah. It shows you all the emotions. Tinkerbell has been around since the 50s. She's never been problematic. Of course not, because once again, I honestly 1000% believe we are so spoiled in this country. We have nothing better to do than to think of things that are problematic. We are so bored. And I saw a clip on TikTok right before we started here of, that meme of the guy going like this by the tree? The meme of
Mhm.
the black.
Yeah.
Somebody went and looked up that tree and
Oh my
found where
God.
that tree was. Like, that's how bored we are as a country. We have nothing to do, but let's get mad at Tinkerbell. Let's get mad at fucking at Candace Owens for being the white face of the black face of white supremacy. Like, this is all just stupid things that there's no emotion behind it. It's fake emotion. People are
Mhm.
just so bored. No, but children are supposed to take some conscious cues from cartoons. Comes back to self-love. These people don't love themselves, so they have to be critical of others in order to have yes.
Projection.
Yes, 1000%. Like, you have these kids going out there with these. I'm referred to as Zim Zar Zabamba Boo Boo Dee Boo. I'm a Zippa Zaba. Like, they just want to feel heard, and they just want to belong to something that they're just making shit up. And it's like, dude, first of all, you're a girl, you're a boy. That's fine. Like, people are just somebody told me they want to call themselves they because they have multiple people in their head just telling them different things. That I'm like, brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm a they. You're not a they. You're a person. And yes.
Every time I think of they, I think of that movie Split.
Oh my
with,
God. With-
what's his name? I don't know. He played
Professor X.
Yeah, Professor X in not the old guy,
Yeah.
but the younger one. His name is
Yeah.
like James something or another.
Yeah, he played. It was part of the Glass series, but yeah, he was an old woman. It was about him having multiple personalities. He kidnapped a couple girls and put them in the basement, and he had split personalities. And that's what I think a lot of these kids are being so traumatized with all this stuff, man. And you're not allowing kids to be kids. Now the most confusing time growing up is when you're in puberty, and for people to just go off and tell you, oh, you can be whatever you want to be, feel how you want to feel, you have a right to be this, you have a right to be that, you have a right to be a tablecloth, you have a right to be a dragon if you want to be. It's just
By the way, it's James McAvoy.
Great actor, by the way. James McAvoy.
He's amazing. By the way, did you ever see what's that one movie that he was in? It was Wanted with Angelina Jolie, and they did like the bullet thinger, like a curved bullet. Yeah.
That was such a great movie when he just takes the keyboard and just bashes that dude right in the face with it as he's leaving his job, and his teeth just come out. That movie's so good. That movie's so underrated with Angelina Jolie. She just takes the car, spins it around. He sits in the car and she just takes off. Such a good movie.
That's a very good movie.
Let's see.
Well,
I remember.
Speaking about these celebrity things, though. Oh, go ahead.
No.
You're gonna read a comment.
I was just gonna read what Amanda said. Comes back to self-love. Did he say bippity boppity? I remember watching Looney Tunes and knowing fire was bad. I'm supposed to hit my sibling over the head with a pan, and you don't fuck with guns, right?
Right. Or when you fire a gun, a stick comes out that says
Bing,
bang.
He has BPD, borderline personality disorder, and you're an idiot for running into a painted wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, those cartoons, and listen, this right. Oh, that's another thing I saw. I don't think I sent it. I sent it to Amanda, but it was saying that these moms did a study, and they were showing their kids 90s shows.
Yes,
I think
I saw that.
I might have sent it to you too. These parents were having these kids watch these 90s shows, and the kids were calm. They weren't screaming for screen time and everything like that. And it was because back then all these shows were a lot slower and not as fast paced as they are now. and dependent on next. You know, you had a kind of like a rhythm to these shows and everything like that. And these kids were not screaming for screen time. They were more obedient. They did what they were supposed to do. And when I tell you our generation is probably the best generation that's ever out there, I'm fucking telling you, we are the best generation. And somebody was saying that we don't want to be lumped in with millennials. I don't. I want to be, I think anybody born between 80 and 89 should be Gen X 2.0 because Gen X,
what do they call it? They call it
Zennial.
the Zennials.
Yeah. The Zennials. And I to be honest with you, our and this is why I think there's a very hard way to like describe us is because we are just on another fucking level. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
We're just on another level. We drank from the hose. We know what it's like to live without the internet. Somebody said it the other day. I made a video. Someone's like, "This is just fucking." Whenever you're doing this, you see this. Whenever you give the thumbs up, it looks like you're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, you know why? Because we invented this. That's why, asshole. We were the kids from D-Generation X and fucking Limp Bizkit. Do you think we give a fuck how you feel? Absolutely not. We don't care
spent
about your feelings.
hours wondering what hot dog flavored water tastes like.
You know how long it took to download a fucking music file? You know how long it took us to download? I was in love with Danielle Fishel as a kid, okay? And you know how long it took to, I was in love with Topanga. And you know how long it took to download a photo of Topanga? Like a normal, regular photo. I'm not talking about these fucking pretend titty photos that they had. Just a normal picture that I could put on my fucking locker of Danielle Fishel. I had a friend actually give me a bunch because her parents had the better internet and she was nice. And she's still my good friends to this day. And she would print me out pictures to put on my locker because we couldn't afford a printer and we had an old computer and my parents wouldn't let me have a computer for myself because, you know, I wasn't allowed to. But yeah, she would print out these pictures for me and I'd put them up in my locker. And these fucking kids nowadays have no idea what it's like. Like, do you know the reason why a lot of us didn't get sick is because we fucking ate things. Amanda was showing me we ate stupid shit. One of the shows we watched was that show with Joe Rogan, Fear Factor.
Oh yeah, I actually know someone that was on Fear Factor once.
Like we ate.
She said it was disgusting.
Yeah, but we ate that shit. We went outside. We ate fucking dirt. Amanda was showing me a video, something on Facebook about some lady was going through her strawberries and was cleaning out her strawberries. And she's like, if you eat this, you're probably going to get really sick. And I'm like, no, we fucking picked strawberries out of the fucking ground and just ate them like that. It was just like, well,
we ate a lot of shit we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
We had dots. Remember the dots on paper? We ate. Listen, you're supposed to eat the dot off the paper. Oh, no, sir. We ate it all.
Yeah. Yeah, we ate fucking wrappers. You know when they told us not to fucking swallow the gum? You know how much gum we have in our fucking bodies right now still that's decaying since the 90s? Like we're
the last generation with candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
We were born in the 80s when everybody was doing cocaine and AIDS were around. We lived through the 90s where tits and everything were hanging out and people were still doing drugs. We lived to the 2000s where we watched two towers fucking come down. We lived through the 90s, the O.J. Simpson, the Oklahoma City bombing, the original Twin Towers bombing. We've gone through the fucking ringer. And you want to tell us that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, that we're fucked up? Fuck you. Fuck you.
How do you really feel?
No, it angers me because these kids nowadays just, you know, they think that they're right with everything like that. But then again, you're the fucking generation that ate fucking Tide Pods, pal.
I know.
You want to tell me how I'm wrong and I'm
crazy shit.
Yeah,
well,
I understand.
Knew not. We're the reason why there's warning labels on everything.
You know, we're the last generation without GPS, and our parents didn't know our whereabouts until we came home. And when the street lights
Yep.
came on, yeah, I was
I
talking to
still had, honestly, I still printed out MapQuest until like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I would print out all my MapQuest things if I needed to do multiple routes, go on my MapQuest and like print it out.
Haley says we're the last
True.
generation before the internet. Yeah, we
Yeah.
really were. Like, I mean, I feel in a way bad for the kids nowadays because they've had access to a lot of shit. Like, I remember when Madison was growing up, like her mom would tell me that Madison was looking up pregnant videos on YouTube when she was like 7, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? Really? Like pregnant videos? Like, yeah, she's like, yeah, she's just, and which, you know, Madison has always loved kids and like the wondering where kids had come from and stuff like that. But like, I couldn't listen. I didn't know what a vagine looked like until I was like 13 and I found a picture in the woods. That's where we found all our porn.
A random vagina
I don't know
in the woods.
how. Listen, I still have playing cards.
Were you trying to? You found a beaver in the woods. Were you looking for vanilla? That's all I want to know.
No, we were looking for fudge. Anyway.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I still have playing cards that I don't know where I found. I think I found it somewhere in the woods that somebody buried these porn playing cards. And they weren't porn, they're just older women from like the 70s, the titty playing cards. And I still have them to this day. And I just wonder, like, some of these women, like, they're dead. Are they dead? Or like who's great kids? Just grandma's titties just hanging out on these playing cards.
Oh, I have so many jokes, but I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I was talking to somebody at my day job the other day, and he was telling me like he lived in California and he would ride 15 miles to his friend's house as a kid. Back like when he was 13, 14.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but I remember being a kid and, you know, with Bobby and Richie and Paulie, and we would just be out all day, just riding around the whole town through the pipeline. So we had this thing called the pipeline, right? It was from my house to Bobby's house, and then from Bobby's house, it went to Collins's house, and then it went through the rest of the. And it's called a pipeline because it was where the pipes were for the town's water system, and it was just all woods. The whole thing was just woods, and we would ride these woods all fucking day long. We'd go from one side of the town to the other. I mean, granted, the town wasn't like, I would think it was like 5 square miles, so it wasn't a lot. And we'd go to the baseball field and we'd play home run derby and shit like that. But it'd be like I'd leave at 9 in and wouldn't come back till like 8, 9 o'clock if I came home. If I didn't like stay at Bobby's house or something like that, I'd call my mom. Hey mom, can I stay at Bobby's house? Let me talk to Bobby's mom. Bobby's mom. My mom wants to talk to you. You know, and it's like, hello. It's like, yeah, they're gonna stay here for the night. Is that okay with you? Okay, no problem. Now these kids are like, I'm out. Where you going? None of your business. And parents are like, oh, okay, no problem.
No. Parents aren't like that. They got an air tag in their shoe, something like that.
Some parents are, but some parents aren't. Some parents are just like, whatever. It is what it is. They have their phone on them, and these kids know how to fucking shut their phones off. These kids know how to take their, all this shit out of their phones, so the parents can't track them and shit like that. But yeah, man, I don't care what anybody says. The 90s kids, the 80s and 90s kids, that generation is just, we're a different level. We're a different fucking level. And
yeah.
And I don't know. But
well, speaking of us 90s kids, someone I grew up with, Avril Lavigne, apparently, she's another one in our conservator watch. I think we need to make a theme song for that. Like, could do a conservator watch and be do 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 and bring it up.
I think we do, because this is wild. Like, she doesn't even sound like herself.
Melissa just I'm pretty sure that Melissa just outed herself as Melissa. Okay, so I don't ever make videos about this pop culture kind of stuff, but I loved Avril growing up as a kid. So I thought it'd be cool to watch this interview of her on Our Dad. And there's this conspiracy theory that she's in fact Melissa, her like body double, and like Melissa fully took over, and Avril is like who knows where she is, like probably whatever. But anyways, one of the things that this girl
Really quickly, this is disturbing, but I love her at the same time. So I started smoking at a young age, and if I remember the sand ashtrays outside in public places, the library, courthouses, public pool, that's all I did at 14 to 16. I would ride around the whole town looking for whole cigarettes and ashtrays. So I had nicotine that day. God, I love that woman. We continue.
here said that made me think like maybe this conspiracy theory is actually not BS. Is she said that she had curly hair growing up and that she didn't know what a flat iron was until the making of her first album. I'm gonna let you watch the clip right now.
My hair is actually so curly. Like no one knows that.
It
I have a
is?
really frizzy curly hair.
What?
I didn't discover the flat iron until the making of my first.
Isn't she Canadian, by the way?
Yes.
I know a decent amount of Canadians, especially Canadians in the US. Been here for a long time. There's no Canadian in that accent. There's none. Listen to it a little more.
First album. So on that song, also My World, I talk about how I would braid my hair in a zillion braids and it would take me all friggin' day. Are there lyrics? Because it would take me 5 hours. So I would just braid my hair in little braids because there was no flat iron back then, or definitely not in my small town.
Right.
Then when I came to LA, I was like working on my album. My producer took me to get a blow dry.
And so now I'm going to show you photos of her as a kid. It's not very hard to get these photos. They're all over the place. Yeah, so here's some. It just doesn't add up. So here is this one. That's her. Looks like definitely before her first album. And what is that? Straight hair. And another one. Straight hair. Not curly. Straight hair. Looks like she's like 13 or 14 or something. And there's even more photos online when she was younger too. I'm too lazy to post all of that right now. You can Google it yourself. But if anything, like the most I can see is like a little bit of a soft wave, and that is it. So I don't get why Avril would say this in the interview unless it wasn't Avril.
I'm telling you, have you watched any of the conspiracies about Avril Lavigne?
No.
Like any besides
Well,
that?
I've only heard that she died
Apparently.
after like her second album or something in a car accident, kind of like McCartney.
Mhm.
And that it's been her body double ever since.
Her body double named Melissa.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, because she was married to Derek's from Sum 41 for a while. Are they still married? No.
No, she was married to Derek. They got divorced. Then she married Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. And then I believe they got divorced.
That should have told you something right there, people.
So, like, yeah, it's been rumored for a long time that that's not really her.
I think it's because between her second and I think it was her second and third album, like her third, she got really girly and like changed her whole style because she was like singing Skater Boy for crying out loud. She was like a skater chick, like that was her persona or whatever.
Like
then,
Gwen Stefani was the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the, and then all of a sudden it just changed, and there was a rumor that
she went solo, and then
And no, I
I
don't
used
know.
to love No Doubt, by the way.
No Doubt was great. Wasn't she
Mhm.
dating the guitarist in that?
I don't know. She was sleuting herself around all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah, and then she made a whole album about him while he had to play the guitar on the album, where she was like, "Don't speak, I know just what you're saying." And he's just strumming like, "Fucking
Fuck my life."
Now
And then she married the guy from Bush, right?
Gavin Rossdale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then got divorced from him, and now she's married to Blake Shelton. These fucking people, it's an incestuous business, and there's a reason why these people just have, they stay in that limelight of marriage. Like there's a lot of people that have fallen off from Hollywood that just marry like normal people, and you like kind of never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And there's people that are just in that Hollywood spotlight that just get married to another person, married, like.
Do you know the story of Rick Moranis?
Yeah.
Like how his wife had passed and he quit Hollywood completely to
Well,
raise his kids.
Yeah. So, his wife had cancer, and as soon as she got cancer, he quit. He quit the business in order, to help his wife with the cancer, and then he quit Hollywood, and then has recently made a resurgence after his kids are all grown and stuff like that. Which, as much as I loved Rick Moranis, loved him, I will watch any Honey, I Shrunk the Kid 417 that he made. I don't care. He was a great actor, but much respect for him for doing that, man. His wife got sick. Fuck this. I don't need this. And do what he had to do, and now he's kind of making a little bit of a resurgence, which I know everybody's like, oh my God, Rick Moranis is back.
I know.
But
I know.
yeah, but much respect to that dude for doing that, because it's one of those things you don't really see.